Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. Sunday afternoon football on Channel 9, and what a glorious winter's day in Sydney it is. No better place to be than at Brookvale Oval for the big clash between the Manly Sea Eagles and the Parramatta Eels. I'm joined in commentary today by the great Andrew Johns. Andrew, a couple of milestones for these Manly players. Big George Rose plays his 100th first grade game for the Sea Eagles. And earlier, Jason King, the captain, presented to Brett Kite a special jersey for 250 first grade games. Both have been great servants.
Oh, it's huge, especially in the front row department. For Brett Kite to play 250th game just goes to show how professional and how tough he is.
All right, Origin Series is over. It's been run and won. Teams now set their sights on the finals. Manly, the defending premiers, are in 6th position. They've been beaten by both Parramatta and Penrith this year, who are at the bottom of the table. That should knock any complacency out of them this afternoon.
Yeah, I think you'll see a different team here today, especially at Fortress Brookvale. They'll be right up for this game. You've got to remember, when they got beat by those teams, they had a lot of guys out injured. They're near full strength today. They'll be very hard to hold out.
The coach, Jeff Turvey, leaving nothing to chance here. He's in there on the whiteboard running through the game plan. For I Select, here are the team cards. At Brett Stewart is at fullback, on the wings George Tafua and David Williams. The centre pairing Jamie Lyon and Steve Maddai. The halves Kieran Foran and Ali Cherry-Erens. In the back row it's Anthony Watmo, Daniel Harrison and Tony Williams. Up front Jason King, Matt Ballin and Brent Kite. The interchange Jamie Buhrer, Joe Nullival, Darcy Lussick and George Rose. They're coached by Jeff Turvey. Parramatta Eels are at the bottom of the table, but shown some good form recently, and you've got one player you want to keep your eye on today?
Yeah, Joseph Paulo. He's playing in the back row today, but he'll play in tight. Reminds me a lot of Feletti Mateo. For a big man, possesses so much skill. Can get the ball in one hand and skip across defenders, create overlaps on the outside. Watch for his combination, especially on the left side with Luke Kelly.
All right, well, they've had a bit of drama in the warm-up, Parramatta. Matt Keating, the starting hooker, has got a bulging disc problem, and he's had to leave the side today. And a young fellow by the name of Nathan Smith, who played for Wentworthville in the New South Wales Cup yesterday, has put on a first-grade jersey to make his debut this afternoon. That makes it tough.
Makes it really tough. Here's the way they line up, the Parramatta Eels. And fullback on debut and jump radar, Jake Mullaney. On the wings, Luke Burt and Ken Seo. The centres, Chase Blair and Willie Tonga. 5'8", Luke Kelly. At halfback, Chris Sando. In the back row, Captain Nathan Highmarsh, Ben Smith and Joseph Paulo. In the front row, Tim Menner and Matt Ryan. And jumper 21 on debut is Nathan Smith. Interchange, Justin Poore drops back with Fui Moi Moi, Mitchell Allgood, Rennie Matua, and they're coached by Stephen Cooney.
It is fitting that the Parramatta Eels take on the Manly Sea Eagles in this weekend's rivalry round. The very fact that both clubs entered the competition in the same year, back in 1947, has ensured a fierce sense of competition from day one. Nathan Hindmarsh taking his beloved blue and golds onto Brookvale Oval, hoping for some light in the last 9 rounds in what has been a particularly dark season for the team. Ironically, the first ray of sunshine came back in round 5 against today's opposition, the first of just 3 victories so far this year. Promising sign from the Eels under fire halfback Chris Sando in recent weeks. Match-winning golden point field goal against Penrith, followed up by some good moments last week against Newcastle. Looked sharp in setting up the opening try for Matt Keating. But no Jared Hayne this afternoon, or for the next month, we believe. Picked up a ligament strain in his foot in Origin 3. A call-up for that man there, 22-year-old Jake Mullaney, former West Tiger, Toyota Cup player. Been going well for Wentworthville in the New South Wales Cup. Now the reigning premiers, Manly, looking to become the first team to successfully defend a title in a full competition, since Brisbane did so back in 2092 and 93. They sit 6th on the ladder. A win today, they would climb to at least 5th, a substantial victory. They could be top 4 on percentages. Okay, Captain Jamie Lyon up against his former club, where he spent 5 seasons, including a grand final appearance in 2001. Requires only 8 points to bring up 700 for Manly. Only 5 Sea Eagles have scored more. And we saw earlier Brent Kite get his jersey. 250th first grade game. Former Clive Churchill medal winner back in the 2008 grand final triumph as the best on ground that day. Speaking of grounds, absolutely glorious day here at Brookvale. Blue skies, patchy surface, but it looks like a fast one.
Thanks, Dave.
And a big crowd have made their way in for this one.
Hello, Chris.
As Chris Sando about to get us underway, and does so. A good strike down to the far corner. Kieran Foran immediately finds Brent Kite, brings it out to his own 15. Ben Smith and Joseph Paulo involved in the tackle. Always a psychological boost to get outside that 20 early in the tackle count. Anthony Watmo picked up and dumped. 3 in the tackle there for Parramatta. Now they go wide. Harrison. Up to Cherry Evans. He's forced sideways. Picks up a metre or two. A decent play the ball. Allows Matt Ballin out of dummy half. Re-signed with the Eagles this week for the next 3 seasons. There's a 4th tackle, a sloppy one. Brent Stewart can't go anywhere. Cherry Evans on the last. Drives it down straight to Jake Mullaney. He'll be happy that his first catch was a fairly comfortable one. Brick wall in defence here from Manly. Anthony Watmo over the top. Matt Ballin down low. Kensio coming in off the left wing. And now Luke Burt, the other winger, helping out the forwards, gets driven backwards towards his own 20. Another scrappy play the ball. This one pulled up by the referee. Shane Hayne in charge with the whistle, so too Alan Shorthall. And a poor mistake from Parramatta. They'll need to get that right early on.
Yeah, it's a sloppy one. And as we walked across the field before the game, it has been chopped up by the curtain raiser here, the Toyota Cup. There has been rain in Sydney this week, and particularly around the middle, a lot of footprints embedded in this very soft Brookvale surface. So things like playing the ball become a little bit more difficult. You've got to play a lot of attention there, and Parramatta, the first ones to get caught out.
Great attacking opportunity, centre field scrum. Jamie Lyons, second man to Brett Stewart. Really Tonga in his face, does well, drags him down, 22 out. That's just the first tackle. Line into first receiver. Jason King, the other co-captain. Oh, picked up. Nearly got into a very dangerous position. Fortunately, he was gentled down. Matt Ballin, Kieran Four and Big Tony Williams. Backing up from Origin on Wednesday. Don't often see that, driven back with a metre or two. Centre field. Third tackle, options either side. Foran to the left, Cherry Evans to the right. They go to Foran. The second man, Brett Stewart, good ball. Steve Maddai claimed and driven over towards the sideline. Good defence, good decision making by the outside Parramatta backs on that occasion. Now on the last, deliberately over towards Luke Burt. Knocked backward by Jamie Lyons. Claimed by David Williams here.
Clarkie, that'll be 6, mate. Check for a knock on, please.
Going upstairs to have a look. Steve Clark, the man in the hot seat. Manly players very confident here. Jamie Lyons, excellent in the air. Appeared to have knocked this one back to his teammate.
Well, he's the best kick chaser in the game. Whether it's along the ground, the bomb or whatever, he finds a way to always get a hand to the ball. And you can see here, he'll just time his run to perfection. The case will be knocked back or knock on, but I think he's knocked that back straight into the path of his winger, David Williams, and that'll be first points this afternoon. I don't see anything wrong with that, Joey.
He makes that look so easy. That's at full pace, full stretch. The class of Jamie Lyons. Freakish.
And David Williams, not long back from injury, taking advantage of a poor play the ball from Parramatta midway through the count. Having another look, but it all appears to be pretty good for the home team here. They were aided by the fact that Willie Tonga actually slipped when he was turning around and chasing. Slipped again there in trying to clean up the ball.
Well, what are we looking at here, Peter?
We're looking at a try, Gus.
Well, it's ridiculous. He's knocked it back. How could he have knocked it anywhere else?
Well, they were just having a look maybe at the put down there from David Williams, but that was all fine as well. And as we thought, green light, Manly first on the board. Difficult start in a couple of ways for Parramatta this afternoon, losing Matt Keating before kickoff. And David Williams, one of 6 former Parramatta players or Parramatta juniors in their lineup today, gets the opening points.
Yeah, when you're under strength, you want to make sure you're getting your share of possession in early in the game, and a turnover early in the tackle count in their own half of the field brings Manly into bomb zone on tackle 5, and they just weren't able to defuse that. And that just comes from not completing your own set of 6 and getting the play down the other end of the field. The best defence against the bomb is to play the game at the other end. Unfortunately, Parramatta come up with that error and immediately put the Sea Eagles on the attack.
And Kieran Foran kicking from the left side back to the right. Jamie Lyons fairly comfortable by his standards, and he's hit the left upright, bounced through. 6 all. The opening minutes here, 4 minutes gone at Brookvale, and the home side lead by a converted try.
Parramatta powerless to stop them making the yards before they had to kick.
Nathan Smith slipping over, he had a dummy half.
Must be tough for him, Nathan Smith. I mean, he played almost a full game in the New South Wales Cup yesterday. Gets here as the 18th man, and to see Matt Keating injured and suddenly on a heavy surface, he's going to have to go out there and play nearly 80 minutes again today.
I think it's tough for Chris Sando too, Gus. Under a bit of pressure all year. Chris Sando, as he gets the kick away, all off-season's working with combinations. Today at fullback, Jake Maloney on debut. Luke Kelly's been at the club for 2 weeks. And now Nathan Smith on debut at hooker. It's a tough ask.
Oh, a kick there from Sando going too deep. David Williams looking for the quick restart.
Hold here, boys.
A couple of Manly players hadn't got back onside. Already some success today for the Manly club. Real nail bite of the Toyota Cup. They scored late, the Eagles. They win that one 24-22. There's the senior side now work it out. 35 out. Tony Williams, first receiver. Dragging players along. Played 50 minutes for the Blues on Wednesday night. Foreign onto Kite. Second man to Daly Cherry Evans. It goes loose. Harrison picks it up. He's met by some strong defence. Tonga low. Matt Ryan over the top. Right again. And it carries early. The last now against Manly. Foreign. Straight to Ken Seo. Brings it outside, he's 20.
It was pretty smart from Ken Seo. It's very difficult down in that corner with the sun in your eyes, but he actually parked himself in the shade of the light tower so that when the ball was on its way, he wasn't directly looking into the sun. That's pretty clever. I wouldn't think to do that.
It's all right as long as
He got himself in the shade. He put himself in the shade so he could see the ball on its way. Let's go to the top of the class there.
Early kick here from Sando, just a third tackle. Looking to turn around some momentum. Tafua comes across field. Chase is good. Luke Kelly, Tim Manor there. Many players making their way back. 2 and 4 in a dummy half. Goes wide to Cherry Evans onto David Williams. He's playing 12, 13 metres out from his own line. Charge from King. Lost the ball. Well, that's what the Eels were looking for. Nice ploy there from Sando kicking early, and it's paid benefits.
Andrew, I know they lead 6-0 and they're rolling through their sets, but they don't look as though they're steaming onto the ball, Manly. It's got that little bit of a, well, we'll just go through the motions here and it should be okay for the afternoon.
Sometimes you score early, false sense of security. You think you just have to roll through them and you're going to win. We saw the Warriors last night. They were like that. You got their pants pulled down, but you see that at the end of the field for Manly, that's the boggy area of the field where they're working out.
Like a lock should.
Really struggling to get forward down that area.
Hold it, Tim.
And that'll win the scrum. Luke Kelly standing wide, finds Chase Blair. Taken high by Kieran Foran, driven back, tries to pass the ball, called held. He'll play it. No, he won't. He'll try to. That's the second time. It cost them points on the first occasion. It may have cost them points in scoring. This occasion.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. They're just the little things you've got to get right. Young man trying to make his way in the game and your afternoon starts like that. He's a good young kid, Chase Blair. I don't mind him at all. Big, strong, thin, quick. He's played a few positions. Seems to be settling in at centre.
Manly win the scrum and go to the blind side. Should point out Phil Gould, Andrew Johns in commentary, so too Brad Fittler. They'll be looking for plenty of input from all three as we go down to the sidelines with Brad.
Sterlo doing a great job, got to say, fellas. It is footy heaven here today. Footy heaven, nearly a packed out crowd already. They're all piling into their little seats as Manly shift the ball to the right. Off to what, Mo?
Keep it going.
He'd have those tight little legs. He played on Wednesday. But it's a beauty. I just gave a kid $10 to go and give me a bucket of chips. It cannot get any better here.
Manly to the left. Brent Kite, second man. Pet play, intercept taken by Ken Seo. No, he's dropped it. It wasn't really an intercept. The ball was thrown straight to him. As Tafua cleans up. Another missed opportunity there for Parramatta to have possession. Jason King been very strong in the opening exchanges. Ballon, cross field. Centre field. Cherry Evans tried the short pass to Daniel Harrison. Too much pressure on the ball carrier. The ball came loose. We'll come back to where the infringement took place. No advantage there for the blue and golds.
Did Brad Fittler just say he gave $10 to a kid to go and get him some chips? That'll be the last he sees of the $10. He's been caught by that before. I can remember when Freddie started his own lawn mowing business. He went out and bought a car and lawn mowers and whippersnippers, and then he decided, I'll employ someone else to do the work. I'll just live off the commission. He gave the bloke the car and the lawn mowers, and he hasn't seen them since.
I worked 2 days. I worked 2 days and thought I'd offload the labour part of it.
He never saw the car and the whippersnippers again.
Can you believe I did me cash?
Parramatta scrum win. Tonga tackle down the short side. Luke Burt trying to get metres out of dummy half, but easily claimed by Cherry Evans. That's better for Parramatta. Matt Ryan. 10 metres in behind to play the ball. Now Manor. All 3 Origin games for the Blues last year. And a good quick play the ball here. Sando was the intended receiver, but Luke Kelly gets a good shot on the football down into the far corner. On the eastern side, Tafua brings it back. Chase is good.
He's a stocky little thing, Tafua. We were down in the corner there where he was doing some pre-match drills. I was sitting to him, and there's plenty of him. He's not real tall, but I'd hate to have him running out in full top.
Hang on, Steve Maddai, Nathan Hindmarsh. A disagreement in the back. Now the players get involved. He's trying to
Walk
keep
away,
them
boys,
apart.
walk away.
Yeah, referees want them to walk apart. Steve Maddai,
Hey, Steve.
Nathan Hindmarsh having plenty to say to each other.
We got it, boys. Steve.
Still going.
Steve, come on, mate.
But now it's all verbal.
Come on, mate. Let us deal with it,
It's got
okay?
a bulgy disc, mate.
Let us deal with it.
Let's see what happens here. Well, it'll go against Steve Maddai here.
Take it back, boys.
He was feeling that there's some sort of grapple.
We're going to deal with it.
Said he's got a bulging disc in his neck.
Well, I don't think there was anything intended there from Nathan Hindmarsh. Just got him in one of those awkward positions that can happen in a tackle. And the reaction was from that. I said to the referee, I've got a bulging disc.
Nathan. I don't need you. I do not. Yeah, but I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. When I will, I'll call you over. Nathan, take him back. Go. Boys, go back. You don't need to defend anything at the moment. We found nothing else in the tackle. You come up throwing the first punch penalty against you. Okay, just go. Where you go. Thanks, man.
Good captaincy there from Jason King. Coming up and getting between the referee and his player so that it didn't escalate.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see if someone touches his neck.
We just got to walk away. We don't want other people. Control your play.
It's one of those chairs where you put the young bloke down, cool down for 5 minutes at the corner.
Hold it, gents, hold.
A bit heated there. Hindmarsh normally fairly cool out there, but
Well, Steve Maddai was pumped up.
took offence. Parramatta best opportunity in the opening 11.5 minutes. Tim Maddai. 12 metres out. Hindmarsh. 5 out in front of the post. Slow play the ball. Smith comes to the left to Sandown. Second man and fullback Maloney. Willie Tonga. Couldn't take that pass. Maloney, very inexperienced up in the top grade, obviously, on debut. And just fired that a little bit too hard for Willie Tonga. In fact, I think he might have been going for the winger in Luke Burt. It just didn't get there.
Well, they're the little things. You come up to first grade, you train a couple of times with the team. It all works nicely at training. Then under the pressure of match play, it doesn't quite go according to plan. That's the experience part of this game. To walk out onto the field in the big time and execute your plays.
12.5 minutes gone. The Seagulls lead 6 points to 0. And the blind auditions are back. The Voice US with Christine Aguilera, CeeLo Green and Maroon 5's Adam Levine. Over 3 massive nights. The Voice US starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. There's a penalty here against Parramatta for inside the 10. And again, a little bit testy out there. Nathan Hindmarsh and Jason King coming together on that occasion. No surprise that there's plenty of feeling between these two clubs. That has been the case for as long as I can remember.
Here we are, boys.
Well, Nathan Hindmarsh is showing good leadership as well. I mean, he knows he's got a young side and up against it against the defending premiers, but he's letting his teammates know he has no fear of them and he's ready to stand up to them, and that's a good sign.
Foreign now. Tries to straighten. Loses his footing. Been a little bit of that. Cherry Evans in the front line. Dummy to Watmo on the inside. Second tackle. Third tackle now. 29 out. Foreign. Second man again to Brett Stewart. Beats Chase Blair. Chose the pass. Keeps it alive to Maddai. Space on the outside for Tafua. Goes for the corner. Ankle tap. Just short. A metre shy. They've got numbers to the right. Foreign. Cherry Evans. Side to Kite. Flings it out the back. Keeps it alive. King on to Cherry Evans. Harrison. Stewart. Jamie Lyon. On to David Williams. Straight and scores his second. And Manly almost scored in the far left corner. The previous play kept the football alive. Jason King. Great second pace play there. And David Williams. A couple of early touches have led to early tries. Tafua on the Great Wall replay nearly scored. Ankle tap there by Ben Smith. And then they came to the right.
It's the offload here from Brent Kite. Any run-arounds from the sideline in the middle of the field. Look at all the numbers there collected by Parramatta. And the Hail Mary at the back. Great work by Jason King. And look at the hands here. Jamie Lyon sums it up well. Comes back inside. David Williams, he gets 2 for the day.
It's my favourite play in the modern game, Andrew. Going to one sideline, make a little bit of ground, threaten the middle of the field, and then see if you can't get it out the back and go again. And gee whiz, it chews up the defence line very, very quickly. They get caught short for numbers. I'm not sure that was the original attention by Manly, but once the second play came from Kite to get the ball out the back, they executed pretty well.
And if your winger comes in to make a tackle, as Ken Seo did on that occasion, you've got to make it count. He didn't, and all of a sudden there was a problem on the outside. Tremendous work from Brett Stewart. He was involved in the previous play, second man play, which saw Tafua nearly cross, and then got back over this side of the field, 50 metres away, to be an integral part of that backline movement.
As a fullback should. Why don't they all do it? Why do fullbacks just end up in one half of the field? Brett Stewart and Billy Slater, they go with the ball. They know where it is.
Yeah, he's just pushed that across the face of goal, Jamie Lyon. Manly, after 16 minutes, the home side 10-0 over the Eels. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. Sunshine raining down on Brookvale Oval and the home team. Seagulls, the reigning premiers, 10-0 up, and Brent Kite takes the ball forward from the restart. The rails have been tremendous for Manly, setting the platform early for them. Anthony Watmo now. Mentioned that Tony Williams played 50 minutes for New South Wales. Watmo 42. It's King. Straight and hard. Centre of the field. Dummy from Ballon. Not fallen for. Good tackle there from Matt Ryan. He's done well since coming up into the top grade for Parramatta. It did well to hang on there to Tony Williams. He kept it alive. Sando, the two number 7s coming together. This occasion, Cherry Evans has grasped. Last tackle now. Forward, under pressure. Forward pass to Harrison. Good pressure there from Parramatta.
Hello, Shorty. Last tackle, the changeover.
That's a good sign. Very enthusiastic right up until the last play, and Foran couldn't get his kick away there. Had to delay it. And in the end, the pass forward turns the ball over to Parramatta. They'd love to score a try just for a little bit of encouragement here.
Well, even if they don't score, they need to keep some pressure on. Can't get over in 6, look for a restart. Play the game at this end of the field. Spent very little time in the opening 18 minutes down this end. Second man now to the fullback, Mullaney. Slightly built. He's put on his back. Well, Harrison and Ballard. Now Tim Manor. One out. Not putting any real pressure on this man, the defence. And that short ball to Ryan. Playing inside the 20. Great opportunity. Sando kicks again early. Deliberately wide, knocked back. And Steve Maddai comes up with the football. Not a great option there. And a good quick play the ball from Steve Maddai makes it easy for Tafua. Good ball, or well taken at least, by David Williams.
Wasn't a good ball, but it was a great take.
I could hear his ribs screaming from here.
Harrison through the line. Played by Matt Ryan. But easy work from Manly. That's 3 tackles. And they've already picked up 40 metres. Pass thrown by Jamie Lyon to nobody. Comes up with Tony Williams. They people like a bit of basketball work on the far side. Brent Kite now involved. There's Manly through Anthony Watmore. That's a better run. Crowd appreciate that one. He's put down and gets a penalty for his team on the 5th tackle. That is a cardless sin.
It's a good work by Anthony Watmore, though, and it's a sure sign of a little bit of complacency when your team's going sideways all the time, as the Sea Eagles are. And Anthony Watmore said, no, let's go straight ahead, see what that does to them. Immediately some pressure on the defence, and Watmore comes up with a penalty.
I think they'll go to the left side, Manly here. Tony Williams, his presence is causing all sorts of trouble and freeing up Brett Stewart on that left side.
Brent Kite now, 25 out, centre field. Back to the left, forward, cut out pass this time, forward pass. When I say forward, not behind a support player, out in front of Steve Maddie, unable to take it. Parramatta, good defence up there, put pressure on that man, Steve Maddie, forced the mistake. Most of the afternoon we've seen that pass go behind a man, and this time a variation from Manly.
Righty, boys, Tenty.
Next Sunday, Dragons v Sharks, local derby, King Stadium, Wollongong.
Matt Ryan joined on to Ben Smith, please.
4 p.m.
Heads all the way in. Stay there, Kieran, until it's out.
Sharks having a great season. Into this weekend in the top 4. Look to stay there and take on the Roosters on Monday night. There's Parramatta forced back from that scrum win. Chase Blair coming from the far side. Heavy contact there on Justin Paul, fresh into the game. Paulo. Nathan Hindmarsh takes the ball forward, as he will do on countless occasions this afternoon. Good quick play of the ball, helps the dummy half Nathan Smith, no support. Does well to get over the halfway. Into a kicking position. Chris Sandow again on the left side of there, play the ball. Problems there for David Williams, straight to him. He kicked over the top from Nathan Hindmarsh. Justin Paul down low. And we've seen some dusty play the balls. Is it the conditions, Joey, or the technique going out the window?
I just think it's attention to detail. I don't know where the Wolfman's mind was there. I don't think many people know anyway, but the attention to detail all game.
Tafua got support on his inside. Brett Stewart, the Prince of Brookvale Oval. Has he got the speed? Yes, he has. Great strike rate at this ground. It's about his 61st try in 67 matches, something ridiculous like that.
Well, they don't catch him at Brookvale. There was one little moment there in that run you thought maybe, just maybe, they were going to round him up. But a good charge, switch of play. Tafua was able to break into the backfield, and Stewart quickly on the scene. Now, just around about here, you wondered. He turns the afterburners on, and the Brookie favourite spears away to score alongside the posts. He's beautiful in flight.
Well, we haven't seen Jake Mullaney in the top grade, so that was the question as to how much speed he had. That's him making the despairing dive late. But Brett Stewart, he just gets a mandatory try, doesn't he? He got one for New South Wales in game 2 and 3. In fact, got a couple of tries, didn't he, in game 2?
Once the head goes back, they can't get him. That's when the afterburners come on, the head goes back.
I don't think he's as quick as he was, but he's still mighty quick. And soft tries like that really help Manly's cause.
And Jamie Lyon converts. Scoreline now starting to get out of reach. The Eagles 16-0 over Parramatta. And that one was way too easy. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, great work by Brent Kite. Have a look. You can just belt the ball up here if you like to, but instead he comes back on the inside. He finds 4 and then finds Tafua. most defences can take a one-on-one and people just run a straight E, but when you start using a bit of skill around the ruck, Bob Fulton's favourite word, they end up finding Brett Stewart in the backfield, and like you said, they won't catch him at Brookie.
They'll not catch him in a couple of other venues as well as Manly now. Brett Kite has been superb in the opening 23 minutes. So too Jason King. Another good quick play of the ball, and Manly through Matt Ballin out of trouble early in the count. Matty Williams shaped the pass. The Parramatta defenders there wishing that he had it.
If I'm the opposition coach, I want him to pass. The more he passes, the better.
He was looking for a penalty there. It wasn't forthcoming. The early kick here from Cherry Evans sits on its point straight away, and it was fortunate for Parramatta. It was a 40-20 opportunity there if it had accelerated towards the sideline.
Nathan Hindmarsh getting a spell. I don't know whether he's injured, but very rare that he comes to the sideline.
Parramatta need a lift, and many times that's provided by Fui Moi Moi. He's warming up on the sideline as the Eels lose the game there. Luke Burt. Sando from inside his 40, but again straight to David Williams. Oh, Williams. He beats Willie Tonga. He may have hurt himself in that tackle. Chris Sando, the shoulder charge. Willie Tonga limping back into the defensive line. Chris Sando stays down after that heavy contact as Harrison, a sidestep inside the opposition half, and they have got numbers on the left, but a slow play the ball won't help. Now they go at what mode? Sideways, looking for support. Finds Tony Williams. Pushes off Chase Blair. Blair comes back. Offloads. Tapua now, flung to the ground.
He looks like a 15-year-old playing in the under-9s, doesn't he? He just swats them out of the way.
Going inside to George Rose. Heavy contact there. The crowd loved it. They love him. 100 for Manly. 106 all up. Half a dozen games for the Roosters. Cherry Evans. Brett Stewart into space. Got support. He might not need it. He'll find it. A hat-trick to David Williams in the first 35 minutes of this game. He could have scored in the corner, Brett Stewart, but he made it easy for David Williams. And it's not a hat-trick inside 35 minutes. It's inside 28 minutes for the Wolfman.
Yeah, beautiful play by Brett Stewart, but this was set up by Cherry Evans. He's earlier, the in and away on Willie Tonga. He gets stuck in the mud on the Great Wall replay. And then Chris Sando goes for the shoulder charge. Put him away, Chris. Watch Daly Cherry Evans here. This is beautiful play. Look, support inside, outside, plays in the line, draws Chris Sando in, and then puts Brett Stewart away. And look at this. This is beautiful. Sums it up. Puts the Wolfman over for 3.
Chris Sando was found out there in defence, mainly because he's defending on not his usual side of the field. He went down injured, and instead of getting across to his normal position on the right-hand side of the field, just filled in the line on the left and got easily sucked in by that second man play there from Cherry Evans, and it just gave Brett Stewart a yawning gap to run through. And very, very, how would you say, unselfishly dumped the ball off to David Williams for his hat-trick. I think had Brett Stewart put the foot down, he probably scores in the corner himself. But that's the team game, and that's why they're the defending premiers. And when they get it all right and get all their troops back, they are still the team to beat.
Well, at 20-0, possibly 22-0. This is a far cry from what we saw back in round 5. Jamie Lyon brings the ball around beautifully, straight over the black dot. The flags go up. 22-0, the Eagles over the Eels after 28. They were saying, oh, well, we've got Justin Paul almost in the opposition lineup before Mullaney kicked the football.
That's probably the worst I've seen. Poor old Justin Paul, he hears the whistle, so he takes off. He's not even watching. Maybe he thought I needed a head start to get down there, but wow.
Well, it's hard to fathom how you could be so far in front before the man next to you kicks the football. I bet you Stephen Kearney's not laughing. There's George Rose picked up and put down.
Oh, that's the best ever.
Evans, Harrison, Off to the Eels next year. So to Darcy Lussick coming off the bench this afternoon. Slow getting up to play that one. The halves combining. George Rose, second carry in this set of 6. Shape to offload. Retain possession. Bowen, second man to Cherry Evans. Danger again. Jamie Lyon. Good decision on that occasion from Luke Burt coming in to stop the play. 4 gone. Cherry Evans, dummies. Tackled. Throws it out the back. And that's a pretty good first touch there from Mitch Allgood. Takes the intercept. A little bit adventurous there from Manly. Paulo now. Throws it back. Nathan Smith. Pretty tough initiation into first grade for both the players on debut tonight.
Well, the problem is when you're under strength is that you don't feel like you're going to score points. And the Manly defence is fairly resilient here, and Parramatta are just running out of options through lack of combination and lack of strike power, and that becomes very deflating, and that then carries over into your defence because you think, geez, we can't get the points to win, so the result's over, so what are we doing here? We're just doing tackling practice.
David Williams, as he's done a couple of times this afternoon, and the kick return back. He's hurt himself in that confrontation with Luke Bird as well.
I think he hurt himself with the Sando shoulder charge. He got up from that pretty ginger and he's still feeling the effects.
You always worry when he's slow up. He's had so many injury problems. Good ball from Tony Williams. Steve Maddie on the outside. Throws the ball to Tafua. Back on the inside. And he's got some speed. Here's Cherry Evans. Racing away next to the posts. It is becoming a procession. He got very close to the dead ball line, did Daly Cherry Evans. But he's got the football down, and 22-0 about to become 26, about to become 28-0. That's the 5th try in the first half.
And once again, it's the presence of Tony Williams. He gets the ball early, and Chase Blair, he comes out of the line to try to get a head start. And then it's just too many numbers. Turns it inside to Tafua. And then, like all good halfbacks, Cherry Evans supporting up through the middle on the Great Wall replay. But once again, that left side, the combination of Tony Williams and Steve Maddie, look at that beautiful hands for a big man, draws the centre out of the line. And then the late hands to turn it back on the inside of Tafua.
I can never understand why players can't score alongside the post instead of behind the black dot. Why has he got to run all the way around behind the black dot to put the ball down? It's not as though putting it down alongside the post is a difficult kick. Why, Joey? Why have they got to run around under the posts?
His mum might give him $10 more if he scores under the post or something.
Just makes it exciting for the Manly fans down there. They're cheering, but all of a sudden there's a gasp.
Well, the way the goal kickers are today, and I mean, it's not as though the game is close, the way the goal kickers are today, when you get to the line, put it down.
Jamie Lyon here, about to rack up 700 points for the Manly club. Found out earlier, only 5 have done that. Simple task for him. And things looking very ordinary for the Parramatta side. 28 points to 0 after 33 minutes. Brad Fittler.
They're having a field day down their left side with Foran, Williams and Maddie. You have a look on the other side. Blair, Sayo and Kelly, inexperienced. They're just destroying them over there.
Well, what's the concern here? Chase Blair races up to make a tackle.
They're not working together.
Doesn't make the tackle and then shows no urgency to come back. Now, I'm not picking on him because there are a few players that didn't put a lot of effort in. But he made the early decision.
Yeah, and that's the inexperience, and you know it can become very daunting and intimidating out there in front of a big Manly home crowd, and you're playing a great side, and you look at the scoreboard, and what happens is all communication goes out the window. You get isolated in your own head, in your own thoughts. You don't work with the bloke alongside of you. You don't talk to him. And you know, tonight when you put your head on the pillow, you're thinking, gee whiz, I should have done different. It's too late.
Harrison short ball to Nullavout. Strong charges since coming off the interchange for Joe. Daly Cherry Evans again finds a fullback. Jake Mullaney. They need some inspiration. They need something to happen. Parramatta. Got to get on the board somehow, but at the moment, they're almost shell-shocked.
Well, you two guys were 2 of the greats, and I mean, but I don't think people understand how intimidating a first-grade football field can be when you're playing in a weakened side and you haven't been in first grade very long and you're playing against a really good side. It can be an intimidating place. If you cast your mind back to when you first started, that's what a lot of these boys are going through today.
Well, there's been a change for Parramatta. Moy's on. He can be a trigger for Sandow. Every time he runs the ball, the next play, Chris Sandow's got to handle the ball as he kicks for touch. Gives his team a breather, but with Moy on, he guarantees a bit of go forward and quick play the ball. That's when he's got to handle the ball on the next play.
And Brent Kite, wonderful start to this game.
He's a good player. He's always been a good player.
That's a great effort, that 250 first grade games in arguably the toughest position on the field. And that'll look nice framed behind his bar in years to come.
Hold here, boys. Wait for the out.
Get your head all the way in.
A little bit of a smile on his face. He's enjoying proceedings. Cherry Evans feeding the scrum, 20 out from his own line. They meant to go for a short side attacking raid.
Front raid, getting square to the tunnel.
I'm keen to see how this feed will look any different to what we just saw and whether they'll put on the same move. They do.
With top 4 positions so important this year and looking at the table, it's probably going to come down to for and against. You know, Manly need to keep this scoreboard ticking over and keep that against number down to very low 0 to get full mileage out of this. They've been complacent a couple of times this year. They dropped games to the Panthers and Parramatta earlier this year. They can't afford that leading down.
Well, 13 missed tackles to Parramatta, none for the Manly side. They really haven't been under much pressure at all, the Seagulls. Owen to Williams, terrorising down that left side on the last. Again, looking for a penalty, doesn't get it. Kieran Ford goes high. Cherry Evans is right behind him on side. Good take from Kensio, and does well to bring it up to his own 20. His leg pulled and flung sideways. Moy. As usual, attracting a number of defenders. Harrison, Nullavow, Lussick. Number 2 out there now for Parramatta. And Justin Paul, he got the timing right on that run. Gets rid of Darcy Lussick too.
His recent football, Justin Paul, has been a lot better in probably the last 18 months, and I suspect that he's really struggled to get over a bad leg injury a couple of years ago, and I just noticed the last month or so he's a lot freer in his gait and moving a lot better.
Brett Stewart, tackled 22 out from his own line. He's been in from the western side. There's 4, and again going to that left side of the field. Enormous success in the opening 37 minutes here. I'll go there again. Quick ball to Williams. That's what he likes. Gets rid of 1, 2. In behind the line. Dragged out from behind.
Dear. How do you stop him?
Well, it was an amazing game against the Roosters after being out for so long, coming back and playing 80 minutes. He was unstoppable. And Manly racked up 52 on that occasion. And they're halfway there at the moment. George Rose now on the last.
George Rose will score a try today, I'm predicting.
It's a big statement.
I'm predicting George Rose gets across the line.
Laney underneath it, fly side, does well. Then the Sun a bit of a concern over in that corner. Couldn't find the light tower on that occasion. He did well.
A lot of Parramatta players strolling back to get onside.
Well, guys, what's Stephen Kearney say at half-time? How does he address his players?
Well, calmly, I'd say. Calmly.
Well, one thing we've seen about Parramatta in games this year is when they're chasing points second half, they've actually been fairly productive and looked pretty dangerous, but 28, that's a big lead. Last tackle now, Chris Sandow again, kicking down into this corner. It's been all David Williams on kick return.
In all honesty, I'd probably take Chris Sandow into another room and just sit down with him. I wouldn't have much to say to the rest of the troops because whatever they do in the second half is going to come off the enthusiasm and the energy of the halfback. So He might be the only bloke they talk to.
Great ball from Madai. Tafua gets around his winger, CO. Mullaney comes across. They do well. Tackle 28 metres out. Looking for the quick play. The ball coming inside the final minute of this first half. Numbers to the right again. Malaval, Harrison, dummies, straightens, almost gets through. Taken by Sando Low. Hurt himself in the tackle, the halfback. Cherry Evans cut out pass. David Williams has tried number 4. With still a minute to go in this first half. We're going to the record books to see what happens here for Manly in terms of how many tries have been scored by players through the ages.
Well, statistician David Middleton has already got the books out in front and he's flicking through them. And again, it's the damage is done down the left-hand side of the field. Tafua on the outside of CO just pushes him away. Wisely doesn't try anything too silly, just goes down. From there, they get it across. Anderson put a jink in them with a dummy. And this is just a training play. Short side, outnumber them, cut out ball to the winger. Everyone does their job. Daly, Cherry Evans, Lyons, and the try scorer, Williams. What's this?
It's
just
great
come to the line, play the first man across his face, hit the second man, strolls over in the corner. How many can you score in one day?
Well, it was 3-on-2 anyway. Luke Burt trying to knock the football down. Jamie Lyons scores if the ball is delivered short, and Williams scores if it's delivered wide, as it was.
Now, a gentleman by the name of Les Hannigan in 1967 scored 5 tries. Only 5. We're at 4 by half time. We'll blow that away.
From memory, he was a left-footed winger, Les Hannigan, and his daughter is a very good athlete, I think you'll find. I was a Manly fan.
Well, he'll be sitting on the edge of his seat because his record might go by the wayside today. David Williams has got 40 more minutes to get a double.
He's got the voodoo doll at home with the beard.
Well, his toughest kick this afternoon, Jamie Lyon. The siren has already sounded. Oh, he's bringing it back beautifully. 34 points to nil at halftime. 6 tries to the home team. 5 goals. An outstanding 40 minutes from the Manly Seagulls, the defending premiers. No Glenn Stewart this afternoon. That hasn't made a difference. But at 34-0, you're watching Sunday football on the home of rugby league. That is Channel 9.
We are nothing without history. Because without history, there is no game. No legends. No real point. Without understanding the grandstand finishes of the past, how do we celebrate the present? Plan for the future. And what is rugby league without a home? Without family, occasion, and pure theatre. This is where our game, by nature and tradition, puts on the big show. Writes history. Turns wild dreams into stark reality. Come with us to places no ticket can buy. Channel 9, the home of rugby league.
Welcome back to Sunday Football on Channel 9, and the hometown fans are having a day out here at Brookvale Oval. So too their football team. Look at that, 34 points to nil. Eels fans look away. Not a very nice picture there. The action started early for the Manly side. The 3rd minute of play, a crossfield kick is knocked back down by Jamie Lyon into the path of a winger called David Williams. Now remember that name. I think he's going to be all right, this kid. From the left-hand side of the field in the 15th minute, Manly with a nice second phase play here for Brent Kite. It'll filter across the line and it gets out to this man called David Williams, who goes in for his 2nd try in only 15 minutes play. Manly were deep in their own half of the field, but a nice switch of play here. We'll see Tafua force his way into the backfield, and he's backed up by the Prince of Brookvale, Brett Stewart, who races 40 metres down the middle of the field to continue his try-scoring spree here. 16 points to nil in favour of the Sea Eagles. In the 26th minute, from left to right again, Daly Cherry Evans out the back. Brett Stewart breaks into the clear and links up with that kid. Here he is, David Williams again, scores his 3rd try in just 26 minutes. They weren't finished there, the Sea Eagles. Again, deep in their own half, left-hand side of the field. This time, Tafua back on the inside, forces his way through the line, and backing up halfback Cherry Evans, who will race away, put it down underneath the post. That will take the score out to 28 points to nil. Do you think they're finished there? No, they're not. And in the very final minute of play, from left to right, a break down the left, back to the right, deja vu. We've seen it all before. Little bit of a dummy and a jink, and on the next play, Daly Cherry Evans comes around to the short side and finds David Williams, scores again, number 4. He's having a day out.
Time your own, boys.
Only 1-5 from 7 at home this season. Well on the way to winning their 6th. As Mullaney takes the kick-off. Centre field, brings it out to the 20. We'll learn a little bit about both teams here. Obviously Parramatta, how they react to the embarrassment of the scoreline. And Manly about how they can maintain their intensity and also their discipline. They want to run up the scoreline with for and against being very important, as Phil Gould has pointed out. Not make too many errors, and the first one goes against Moimoi. Play on now. You're in for him. 35 metres out. Awful start to the second half. Moimoi putting it down. Lussick now, centre field. Inside the 30. Slow play the ball. Justin Paul claiming he's got his arm caught in there with some justification. Stewart, flick pass at the Jamie line. That is a good time. Plenty of ball movement, plenty of support play. Foran doing the rows. 3 in the tackle, but he still gets the ball away to Ballon. Gives it alive. Foran now under Lussick. Taken by Ben Smith. Down low, Luke Kelly. Foran. Almost slices through, but he's taken low. Desperate defending tackle there by Justin Paul, the front rower. Joe Nullavow keeps the legs pumping on the last. Back to Foran. Second man, no look pass, and it didn't find the mark. It's still the last tackle. Brett Stewart keeps it alive. Cherry Evans kicks it off the ground and kicked up by Mullaney at the back. The ball raked out by Cherry Evans. 6 again. Play on. Joseph Paulo in possession.
Well, Peter, one of the big interests in this second half for everyone that's watching at home, David Williams has scored 4 tries in the first half on only 8 occasions in the entire history of rugby league, and that's a long time, have more than 6 or more tries been scored by an individual. Now, Frank Burge and Dave Brown both did it twice, but every time someone has scored 6 or more tries as an individual, all of those took place before 1950. So here we have a player with 4 tries in 40 minutes on the verge of something really special. Just needs to get across the line 2 more times.
I hope he doesn't know all those statistics. Might put a little bit too much pressure on him as Tafua retrieves the bouncing ball from the Chris Sando kick, hits centre field. Been tremendous, this young man, bouncing out of tackles again. Still going forward despite the fact he's got the attention of 2 forwards in Paul and Smith involved. David Williams looking for number 5, centre field.
Go 60.
Got the right number on his back. Ballon. Number 4, Tony Williams. Good tackle low. It was Luke Kelly there. Brave effort to bring him down one-on-one almost. Hit. That's the chest there from Ben Smith. Cherry Evans on the Lussick, straightens nicely. Offload, back to Cherry Evans. Brett Stewart, hot potato here, Steve Maddai. And that last pass called forward.
Tail 4, boys, come in.
Plenty of adventure shown by the Manly Seagulls.
I'm just wondering whether or not Nathan Hindmarsh has an injury. He came off the field very early in this match. He'd only made 14 tackles, so he's probably only out there about 8 or 10 minutes. And he hasn't been put back on since. He's still sitting on the sideline. His team's down 34-0. You would think they would need someone like him out there holding it all together, but strangely, he still sits on the bench.
Well, it's surprising if he is okay that he hasn't been out there before this. Early game tonight, or this afternoon, the Rabbitohs out at ANZ Stadium. 34-14 victors over the Knights. Good result for them. Newcastle had won their previous 2. South Sydney setting their sights towards the top 8 finish and doing very nicely. It's all good, straightens. Zone 40. It looks like George Tafua coming to the sideline. Passes forward. Well, how many forward passes have we seen this weekend?
Well, we've seen a lot more pulled up because the linesmen now are actually in line with the play the ball, which is something we've been screaming for. That's just a lazy effort, way too much of it.
I reckon there were 6 in the Melbourne-Canberra game alone last night. Brad Fittler.
Boys, Nathan Highmarsh, okay. Paulo came off, Nathan Smith went on, and George Tafua came off, and Jamie Bura in the little white headgear out here on the left wing. He gets his just started.
He's a versatile customer, isn't he? Jamie Bura playing
down on the wing.
Yep, left wing.
Look for the
good ball. Brett Stewart racing away. Maloney coming across. And Brett Stewart, hang on, Stewart. No, he's okay. I thought that he might have done a hamstring as he was about to score, Brett Stewart, but it was just that easy. He slowed right down to get his second of the afternoon.
This is really poor defence, though. They've been running this play all year on the Great Wall replay. Chase Blair comes out of the line, takes no one. Steve Maddai runs actually the decoy running out. And Brett Stewart hobbling there. He actually takes Maddai's line. But they've been running this shape all year. You can drive a truck through that, Gab. That's just really poor defence.
Now, I know Chase Blair made his first grade debut on the wing and played most of his early games there, but his centre defence this afternoon, it's been awful. And Stewart just moving a little bit gingerly. Coming across towards the sideline there, having a chat with...
That's the physio there.
He didn't look too well, did he? He was trying to slow down, and sometimes if you've got leg pain or knee pain, it's hard to slow down. It's harder to slow down than speed up.
Well, you'd bring him off, wouldn't you, Gus?
Well, there's no need to play him now. I mean, he scored 2 tries there.
Well, if it's a muscle tear, he'd come off. The way he's weighing his options, you think maybe it's a cramp, but comes from the field now.
Yeah.
And Anthony Watmoe, the man, coming in. A generous round of applause to Brett Stewart, real crowd favourite, and rightly so. Wonderful to watch, and yes, you could see he pulled up short in his action just as he was about to put it down. The nonchalant way he got up and threw the football away.
Yeah, I don't think he's torn a hamstring or anything, but I think, you know, when he started to ease up, if you've got knee pain or ankle pain or whatever it is, you know yourself, it's hard to pull up than it is to sprint.
Amy Lyon hitting them sweetly this afternoon. That's his 6th of the afternoon. And 40-0. Take a break and back to Brookvale. Manly way on top. Starting to become monotonous regularity. Chris Sando kicking off from halfway as George Rose. Let West 3 or 4 players. Crowd go up as one every time George gets a touch. Nullavow now. What a wonderful player he's been at a lot of different clubs. In fact, I think he's played grand finals with 3 different clubs, has Joe Nullavow.
It looks as though that Steve Maddai has gone to fullback. He's the one loitering around the middle of the field. Big Tony Williams has moved out to left centre, and Bura is still on the wing. So a couple of back rowers playing out wide here on the left-hand side, and Maddai's gone into Brett Stewart's position at the back.
Freddie, what can you tell us about the couple of Manly players that have just left the field?
Boys, George Tafua's got a corked hip. Not sure if he'll be back at the moment. And Brett Stewart, the trainer said it was his hammy as he was walking up the aisle. Not good news.
Hindmarsh busting to get back into the action. It says something about him with the fact the scoreline is 40-0 against his team. Wormwood takes it inside the 40.
Well, he's standing up. He's sending a message to his coach, and I'm not afraid to go out there if you want to use him. He would be hating sitting there on the sideline watching this scoreboard tick up and he not having any role to play.
It is Steve Maddai back in the custodian position. Luke Kelly trying a bit of a banana kick there. Not to any great effect. Darcy Lussick. Easy to pick in those iridescent green boots. He's chomping at the bit, Nathan Hindmarsh. Jamie Bura, normally a back rower, sometimes plays in the centres. The rest of the game maybe on the left wing. Watmoe now. Offloads have killed Parramatta all afternoon. Nullavow taken on the 4th tackle. There you can see the offloads 11-2. George Rose taken by Moi. Wayne Haynes says, no, it's okay, it's up around the shoulder. puts his arm up for the last tackle signal. Clearing forward. Tries to bisect the fullback and the winger. Maloney does well. And immediately looks for Kencio to take it centre field. He had a dummy half. And the back's getting in to help out now, although Justin Paul lines it up. Bussing.
Manly
on
is
the tackle.
still aggressive with their defence. Getting off the line, really hitting hard.
Well, we asked the question as to what Steve Burnley would say to his team. Go through the last couple of tackles here. I'll ask you what Jeff Tuvey's instructions would have been. As him to it, almost burst through. Last tackle now. Crescendo goes high. Swirling ball. Jamie Buer underneath it. Does well and into open space. Justin Paul coming across. Beats the foot. No, the front rower makes a tackle and holds the legs up.
In the touch.
No, the flag has gone up. Saving some embarrassment there.
Scrum.
Because Jamie Buer had a tough ball to defuse. When he looked up, there was no one in front.
I don't think he could believe it. He trips himself up. He can't believe he's in the clear. Can't believe he caught the ball. Can't believe Justin Paul gets him in cover.
He's got Justin Paul and Nathan Hindmarsh following him. And he's thinking, gee, it's a long way up the other end there.
That's right. If I saw a front rower and a back rower coming across and I knew I wasn't going to boot them, I'd be tripping myself.
I once had a nightmare that I got an intercept 90 metres out. I had to go the length.
That is a nightmare.
Took about 50 seconds.
Okay, with Chase Blair taking the ball from the scrum win. What did Jeff Tuvey want in this second half?
I think without doubt he would have spoken about the defence, keeping Parramatta to 0. But I think he would have grabbed the young halves, taken them aside, Daly, Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran, and said, this is a big one for you. You're going to see a lot of opportunities, so let's stick to the game plan.
That's it. You don't want to get into bad habits. Discourage Parramatta. Don't give them any scent that you're going to drop off, and you've got a lack of intensity, and when you've got the ball, stick to the systems and get really good at them. Don't get into bad habits.
Nathan Hindmarsh back on for Parramatta. Picked up on the fourth. Kelly now coming across to the right. Cut out past to Chase Blair. Beats Buer. Comes to Foran and Williams. He's ridden to the ground and ridden sideways. Very close to touch. Did well to stay in. Got the microscope out to make sure he did. And well, I think it's one of those occasions where Tony Williams hasn't done anything wrong there. He should have just been called to come back and play it on the last. They're allowed to do that if the pass is thrown after the call of held. But he's just trying to get out of there, Tony Williams. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
He's laid an egg.
Anyway, come on, Parramatta. Let's see if we get across the line here.
Surge from Moy.
Something for the Eels fans who've made the journey.
And Marsh, there has been an offload in him in the last couple of weeks. Not then. Sando, second man. Maloney spins out of a tackle. Comes back towards the post. Good footwork. Gets over. And looks as though he has scored.
Mate, just check for possible obstruction, please.
In his first game in the top grade. And showed some nice evasion to do so. We're going upstairs just to have a look at the lead up to that as to whether there was an obstruction. But he's confident, his teammates are confident. And let's have a look how it unfolds, Gus.
Don't take it off him. It's his debut game in first grade, young Jake Maloney. And he celebrates this like he's won the lottery. Up he goes, he puts it over the line, and he says, yeehaw, that's a try on debut, and he won't care what the score is. That's a dream come true.
And a quick decision means it will be a try. Daniel Harrison was claiming Rennie Matil was in the way. Parramatta on the board, and congratulations to that young man, Jake Maloney. Tough afternoon, but it's one he will remember now for a good reason, not the scoreline, but the fact he's got over in his first game. And we pointed out how tough it is for Maloney and Nathan Smith coming in at late notice. The Parramatta team, good footwork, beats 3-4, drags Jason King, gets the ball over, well done.
Well, he gives you a look at why the coach has picked him today. Jared Haynes out, and They throw the jersey to a young man and say, out you go, do your best. And Jake Maloney's gone out and done his best.
They have the best goal kicking percentage in the competition, Parramatta, through this man and Chris Sando. And I'll add to that. 40 points to 6, 54 gone. Manly over Parramatta. Parramatta finally on the board here at Brookvale Oval this afternoon on Trimble Hardware Sunday afternoon rugby league. Restart now. Ken Seo eventually picks it up. We're hearing from the sideline that either Brett Stewart or George Tafua will be coming back for the rest of this game. And Joe Nullavow, Joe Nullavow limped off after the try was scored, and that was almost very embarrassing. Tim Mannix got a few words to say. Blair now.
What happened? Did he fall over when the ball was on his way, or
I think so.
was it a bad play? Here it comes, and he's gone. It's hit him in the chest, the hands. Juggle, he gets it back.
That's the definition of nervous.
He was put off. Luke Kelly looked like he's going to catch a football and pull his hands back. Nathan Smith on to Chris Sando. Last tackle now. Made the option kicker. Nathan Smith doesn't know it's the last. Now he does. And Ben Smith straight to Steve Matai. I guess that's the other concern in this second half with the scoreline. What it is are the injury concerns. Joe Nullavow is dynamic out there coming off the bench. He looks in some distress as he makes his way back to the race.
I think Joe's carried an Achilles problem all year, whether he's aggravated that Achilles problem again. Heavy surface wouldn't have helped today for Joe.
Nothing worse when you've got ankle problems to play on a shifty surface like that is out there today. There's just there's no footing underneath it.
And he did say shifty.
Shifty surface.
There's Manly now on the last. Cherry Evans drilling it into the northwestern corner, finds touch, 8 metres out, good field position, and in no hurry to set this scrum either team.
Well, Friday night football this week, Bulldogs versus Eels. The Eels have got to back up again Friday night against the Bulldogs, the form team of the competition. It's live in New South Wales at 7:30, 9:30 in Queensland, and then the reverse game, the Broncos versus the Warriors. Warriors very good last night against the Titans, 7:30 live in Queensland, 9:30 in New South Wales. And Sunday, the Dragons are playing the Sharks down at Wynn Stadium, Wollongong. I don't understand why Dragons and Sharks would play in Wollongong. You think they'd play somewhere near Cogra or Shark Park, but that's where they've decided to play it, down in Wollongong.
A couple of beauties, especially there on Friday night. Canterbury won 6 in a row now. Haven't done that for 6 seasons. Parramatta now. And the ball out from their own end. Tim Manor. Clayton Harrison making the tackle. Nathan Highmarsh down the left side. As well to get through before Cherry Evans grabs him just short of the 40-metre line. Sandow kicking deliberately for a 40-20. Matai. Real we might have knocked that on. No, and will come off the leg. Touch fortunate there.
It was an interesting kick there from Chris Sando. He was inside the 40, but he really didn't give it his all as Matai fumbles the ball backwards. Really went for timing over power.
Going back on the inside to Kite. On the front row, Jason King. Nice tackle away from Nathan Smith. Some manner there as well. 4 and plenty of energy down this left side. Doesn't mind taking the collision. The Manly number 6. That's what makes him such a good ball player. Last tackle now against the Manly team. Matt Ballard out at first receiver. Don't see him there a lot. And the try scorer for Parramatta, Maloney, takes the ball sideways, looking to link up with Luke Burt. Can't do so. The Manly chase was quite good. Brad Fittler sideline.
I just asked Joe Nullavow if he was okay. He said, I have a cork, I'm soft.
He's far from soft, Joe.
Heard him described many ways. Maybe with that adjective as Ken Seo swung sideways.
Parramatta are actually showing all the enthusiasm at the moment. The intensity has gone out of the Manly side. A couple of injuries and a big scoreline in their favour. And they're really just rolling through the motions at the moment. It's Parramatta that are trying to string some plays together and get something happening.
Nice tackle now. Ben Smith playing the football. Smith down the blind side. Luke Kelly deliberately back towards the post. And Barney Cherry Evans covers nicely. David Williams was there, so too Steve Maddie. We spoke to Jeff Truvey, the Manly coach, on the Sunday Footy Show this morning. Just talking about how he's failed to have his full team on the field at the one time, basically all season, when you consider the injuries and the suspensions that they've endured. And Stewart missing this afternoon as David Williams flung onto his back. There's Stewart. Still a week or two away from making his comeback from that knee injury sustained here against Melbourne a couple of games ago. Last tackle. And the game in a bit of a lull now. Kieran Foran again happy to go straight down the field to Mullaney. CO brings it back. His own 20.
You've got to give a rap to Parramatta the way they've come out after half-time. Stephen Kearney's obviously asked for an improved effort. And you spoke about character, Stella. They've shown character. From half-time, it's 6-all, so really with nothing to play for, they are showing some character.
Well, I think on the other side too, Joey, the intensity has gone out of this Manly team as Parramatta come to the right. Kelly on to Ben Smith. Chase Blair. Rare time he's found some open space. Good ball back on the inside to Kelly. He kicks deliberately for Ken Seo. Tony Williams. Mullaney looking for his second.
Grounded.
Tony Williams, big T-Rex, gets back there to save the day. And some enterprising play down the right-hand side there. Chase Blair's had a tough afternoon, but he initiated that. And Mullaney, not far away from getting his second here. Great wall replay. Luke Kelly looks to the right, looks for the better option, and that's the kick, and gets nailed by Steve Maddie in the process. And Tony Williams ambles back. Mullaney throwing his left hand over there to try and get his downward pressure.
Get on with it, let's go. Go, let's go. Go.
Manly now taking their time. They've got 40 seconds and they're using all of it. It's the first drop out of the game. As Tim Manor brings it back with some vigour. And Jason King meets him with just as much ferocity in defence. Joseph Paulo kept quiet this afternoon. Brought into the starting side by Stephen Kearney. Very good with the ball, but Manly have contained him. Hindmarsh gets rid of Darcy Lussick. Put on his backside, the big number 16. Speaking of big, George Rose to the sideline. Descender, Gummidge straightens. Taken low, 9 metres out, fourth tackle. And back through Paulo, behind Hindmarsh. Kelly kicks deliberately for the winger, Ken Seo. Beautifully done. And haven't we seen some astute kicking this week? It started on Wednesday night. And a lovely piece of play there from Luke Kelly, realising that Jamie Burek is not a winger. Saw plenty of space, and Ken Seo gets his 8th try, second only. I think that Jared Hayne might be the leading try scorer. This man certainly well up there. Pretty easy one for him too. And the left hand put down.
Andrea, the modern day halves, you know, in the old days, kicking was your last resort. These days, it seems to be their first thought, doesn't it? A great wall replay, beautifully placed. That's just a training drill right there.
Yeah, he looked up and saw that the defence was really compressed. And it's the left side defence of the Seagulls that Parramatta have to keep attacking. Tony Williams in the centres, and also Jamie Buhrer on the wing. Jamie Buhrer was a long way in field there. It was a beautiful kick.
I just love that little bit there between Nathan Hindmarsh and Darcy Lussick. Nathan Hindmarsh is retiring at the end of this year, and of course Darcy Lussick is the player that they brought to replace him. And Hindmarsh saw him, ran at him and just sat him right on his backside, as if to say, you respect his jersey, young man.
And this is the other man retiring at the end of the season, Luke Burt. Lovely kick from the sideline. He's kicked beautifully all season. 40 points to 12. Parramatta doing much better in this second half.
Stay with it, Daniel.
Into the final 16 minutes of this round 18 clash between Manly and Parramatta. 2 converted tries in the second half for the visitors, and Tim Manor, he's not on his backside getting a bouncing ball on this occasion. Brings it back outside the 10-metre line. Nathan Hindmarsh now winding it up for the second. Attempted wrestle to the ground there by Matt Ballin and Daniel Harrison. Hindmarsh able to keep his feet. Good ball from Paulo on to Chris Sando. He's got support on his inside in the skipper Nathan Smith, the hooker, who gets the football. No, it's Mullaney, in fact. Did very well to be in support. They've got numbers to the right-hand side. Sando's gone to the left. That's Nathan Smith out of dummy half. Players calling desperately to the right for Parramatta. They have got a couple of men overlap. Nathan Hindmarsh, Ben Smith, stutter step to the line. Claimed by Tony Williams and Kieran Ford. Gets over the line. But we will come back to the 10-metre line. That's a play or two too late. Lovely ball from Paulo to put Sando away. Last tackle signal. And Kelly at the post. Tries to hit the upright there. They'll get the next best thing with the line drop out.
Well, it just seems very much so that Parramatta being enthusiastic and wanting to play football is a real inconvenience to the Manly side. Manly looked as though they were hoping Parramatta would just down tools and not put an effort in for the rest of the game given the scoreboard, but they've continued to play Parramatta, shown a lot more fight in the second half and are actually leading 12-6 since the break, and it could have been more right there. Here's an opportunity for them to come back. Manly need to snap out of this malaise they're in.
Manor. Again, bringing it back with gusto. Inside the last 14, Hindmarsh. Centre field. Come to the right through Luke Kelly. Attempted kick there. Oh, it was a kick. But a poor option. Third tackle, nothing on. An easy return there from Steve Maddeyes. Tim Manor trying to lift his side with some heavy defence.
Well, that's the modern day player. Sometimes their first option is kick. Whether that's out of respect for the opposition defences.
George Rose loses the ball. Dived on by Parramatta. Called play on. That's the 0 tackle. Joseph Paulo. Good with the ball in his hands. We saw him put Sando away.
There's a player in this kid. I've been watching him for a while now. There's a player in there somewhere.
And the two are wrestled to the ground. Still only the second tackle. Paulo spending a bit of time at first receiver now. Sando coming to the outside. Manor back on the inside. And a good second half from Tim Manor. But on his back, slow play the ball. Won't help their cause. Sando, cut-out pass. It is a cut-out pass. Knocked down by David Williams.
Forward first, boys.
But the ball has been ruled to have gone forward.
Forward first.
So this will be a Manly possession. Williams might have had sight of number 5, although the ball was always a little bit out of reach.
Had an intercept written all over that ball.
He was keen, wasn't he?
We've all played in games like this where you've got a big score, the game is over a long way from home, and suddenly you find yourself, you get into a bit of a rut and you can't get out of it, and you know you're doing the wrong thing, you know you're not showing the energy. How do you snap out of it? How do you get back into playing some football?
Gus, I was in a team that got beaten 64-12 at Parramatta Stadium by Manly. We led 12-6 after 20 minutes.
Yes, they can.
Penalty going Manly's way here.
Give him the penalty. You got to come back. Hadn't come out the second row.
Offside there. Parramatta team. Very few penalties in this game have been awarded. In fact, it's only the 6th, 4-2 in favour of the Eagles.
And the Manly crowd have stuck around. Big crowd here at Brookvale today, and they're hanging around. They're getting a little bit impatient with their charges. They were entertained in the first half, but they're not really enjoying this second half at all.
Don't often see 3 forwards passing like that unless you're watching Canterbury. Good stuff there from Manly to get the ball to centre field. Give options to the playmakers. That's Foran. No room to move there. Happy to take the tackle. Now Cherry Evans takes control. Up his co-captain on the inside. Jason King, he flops it out the back to Foran. Watmo tries to side over the top. That was touched by Tim Manor and knocked on.
Well, he knew which way the ball had to go there, Watmo. If you have a look on the high shot, if he gets that ball over the top of the play the ball, Manly would have had about 5-on-2 on the right-hand side of the field. He couldn't work out why the ball came left in the first place. And as the play comes in, the ball will go to the middle of the field there, and he'll sort of see that the ball will flop out this way. And if he can just get it back over the other side of the play the ball, as he goes there, look at that. Manly would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out wide there against 2 defenders.
Well, I've got a few attackers out there against defenders with Steve Maddai. And the ball in his hands after the scrum. Daniel Harrison, nice left foot step. This young man, I'm sure he's from the Central Coast. Pointed out, joining Parramatta next year along with Darcy Lussick. Went tight to the line. Foran. Wide pass, good luck. Tony Williams gets rid of Chase Blair. Gets rid of another. Offloads to Watmo. Keeping it alive. The 2 number 7s come together. Cherry Evans finishes on top. Harrison on the line. Flick out the bus at the back. Keeping it alive now. Watmo. Maddai, Foran. Eventually, they make a tackle, Parramatta, after about 12 passes put together by the Manly team. George Rose. There's a little step that he possesses as well. At Chase Blair. Picks up the bouncing ball. Some sloppy stuff there from the Seagulls. Again, Jeff Tuvey will be looking for more precision despite the scoreline. They've got bigger games coming up in the next few weeks. Open space now for Mullaney. No, in fact, that's Nathan Smith. I apologise to both players on debut for mixing them up. That's Nathan Smith. Bowraville Junior. Same junior club as Greg Inglis. Chase Blair. All taken by Jamie Bureau. Ball goes forward. Parramatta want to play on. Now it will be play on, but it'll be Manly's ball. Tony Williams.
Doesn't want to run.
Tony Williams did not want that ball.
Knock on there from Jamie Bureau. Possibly, no. Play on.
It was just like Tony Williams said, I just had a run.
Jason King on the day line. That's gone down.
First one, Manly.
It's terrible now. It's a rabble. I just want to call it off and go home.
It's going to be a big ask for Parramatta this week. They've got the short turnaround playing the Bulldogs on Friday night. I'd be interested to see how both these teams pull up after this, playing on this really heavy surface.
Yeah, well, if you're Parramatta, as we see what was an absolute schmozzle.
Watch Tony Williams here. He gets it and says, I don't want this. I just had a run.
If I'm a Parramatta player, and I've gone through this, I can't wait to get back into the contest.
Manly, come on.
Well, as you point out, not easy. Short turnaround against the Bulldogs. I hope that they're keen to get back out there and erase this from the memory bank.
I think Manly have missed a golden opportunity this afternoon. They led 40-0. Still more than 30 minutes left on the clock, and could have been looking at a 60 or 70 point for and against game here, but almost halved that.
Kelly, Maloney for fullback. Good ball to Kensio, who's done a great job to score in the corner. We are going upstairs to have a look at this one, but on first viewing, Kensio has got on the outside of Jamie Bureau. Jeff Tuvey, well, that sums up his thoughts on the second half, and certainly the last 10 or 15 minutes from his team. Kensio limping his way back. He's gone past Bureau here. He has dived early and he's got the football down magnificently in the corner. Great effort from Sio. Re-signed with the club. One of the young players that Stephen Kearney wanted to get on the books. Another quick decision will be green. And Parramatta get their third of this second half.
And it started from Joseph Paulo. He's playing a first receiver. For a big man, he possesses beautiful hands. He frees up and makes it. Have a look at this for a big man, the way he skips across on the Great Wall replay and collects 2 and 3 numbers Watmo has to stop. Williams, that creates the overlap. But it started from Joseph Paulo. Gus, you spoke about him, but there's a player there somewhere. He reminds me a lot of Felipe Mateo.
Yeah, he was on contract with the Panthers this year, and it was through salary cap pressure and a couple of other things. They designated he was a player that we should move on. I was reluctant because we really hadn't seen enough of him, but in the short time he spent at Parramatta, I believe there's a player in there somewhere. But that's life in football these days. They change clubs and bounce around, and salary cap does that. But he's a talent. I think there's a player there.
Kenseo's made an impression this year as just about being their most consistent performer. After being given the opportunity, Luke Burt, the other winger now, bringing it back beautifully, just over the crossbar. 40 points to 18. 75 minutes gone. There are a couple of blue and gold flags waving around. I didn't see any of that in the first 40 or 50 minutes. Just Jamie Buhrer put back on his heels there and unable to turn around and make the tackle. And Luke Burt, well, he's done this for a long, long time. He's coming to Parramatta as a blonde-haired, long-haired surfy.
He takes great pride in his goal kicking.
I notice Joe Nullavo is back out there for Manly, so he's not soft. As Matt Ryan picks up the restart. Possession in the second half. Parramatta 57, Seagulls 43.
18-6 in the second half.
Made good use of it.
Offside. Wait there. Hey, marker, not square.
Brent Kite, the man picked out by the referee there. Not square at marker, not onside, bit of a shake of the head.
Well, this is all damaging for the Seagulls. And if all of a sudden Parramatta were to post another try and this ends up 40-24 and they've won by 16 points, they've just wasted a golden opportunity. Top four finish so important this year, and more than likely it will come down to for and against. I don't think you can be happy with the
Paulo again looking to combine there with Chris Sando. Couldn't take the inside ball. Shadows right across Brookvale Oval now as
the speculative. You can see the skill in Paulo.
Yeah.
That sort of play for a big man to possess the vision and the soft hands to pass that ball.
If Sando catches that, he would have been through the tackle of King.
Let's go, guys.
Who did well to cover back on the inside.
All the way in.
And that speed, Chris Sando very tough to stop from just 20 metres out.
Nice and tight. Thank you. Okay, stay there, Chris.
Hold there, hold 6, hold.
And we point out again the change in the McIntyre system that makes that top four finish even more coveted. David Williams, quiet second half for him. As soon as we started talking about 5 and 6 tries for David Williams, he was no chance.
He's got the ball. They haven't gone that way once. They've scored 4 tries down the right-hand side in the first half. They haven't gone there once in the second half. They've hardly moved the ball at all. They've just trundled it up and got belted and dropped it and given possession back to the opposition. And I wonder, Manly, if they go into the dressing room after the game, where do they bother singing the team song?
Just on the left-hand side now, Jamie Buhrer takes the pass from Steve Maddai. Matt Ryan coming across in cover. No room for Buhrer to move. He's flung over the sideline. And again, in the first half, those kind of breaks were leading to a try. Just over 16,000 fans making their way into Brookie this afternoon. 16,065 in fact. And plenty have stuck around. The Eastern Hill over there. There aren't too many gaps to be seen. New configuration at this ground on this side. The new stands going up. As Parramatta feed and win the scrum. Kencio comes off the wing into the 5/8 position. Of course, back towards his own try line. Anthony Watmo looking to get the football out of his grasp, unable to do so. Nathan Hindmarsh. 13th hit up from leagues away in that department. Ball for Paulo again. Really good ball there to Willie Tonga. Marsh had to stop and wait. Pass behind him. Kelly now on the Ryan. Through to Tony Williams. Back to Mullaney. On to Chris Sando. With a chance down the left-hand side now. Rennie Matua. Back on the inside. Willie Tonga. Finds Joseph Paulo back on the outside. Luke Burt will score. Lovely try. Well constructed on that left-hand side. And Joseph Paulo is playing some really good football and showing why Steve Kearney wanted him in on the run on side. Chris Sando also starting to find some open space against the tiring Manly defence.
They put the cue on the rack, Manly. Some beautiful play in the middle from Chris Sando. He gets through and finds the long ball out here on the Great Wall replay. Is that Rennie Matua here? Runs an angle, turns it back inside. And some nice work here from Polo. He's been the best player on the field in the second half. Luke Burt goes over.
Well, you doubt Luke Burt will miss the conversion, even though it's from wide out. So this is going to finish 40-24. And I'll say it again. On the Great Wall replay here, you're seeing a team that has really clocked off and allowed their opposition to run and back cells into a little bit of form after a disastrous first half. This will do the Parramatta good. It will lead into our game on Friday night against the Bulldogs. At least they'll finish on a good note. Brent Kite, in his 250th first grade game, is the KFC So Good man of the match. And deservedly too. I don't think he dropped his standards at any stage during the contest. Very effective in the first half. And Luke Burt, I've already put the mocker on you, so just steer it straight, son.
Yeah, Kite, 20 tackles, 13 hit-ups, and each one of them were quality. There's no problems there, Gus. Flags are raised once again. Big second half for Parramatta on the scoreboard at least as the siren goes 40-24 the Manly Seagulls. In the rivalry round, they'll get satisfaction out of this one. Plenty of tries scored, 7 for the winners, 4 against the Eels. Thanks for your company today. Big win for Manly. Until next time on the Wide World of Sports, it is 9 News next.